everybody. This is Misty with Mizz Lawless Promotions, and I have Charlie Angel and Rick Fabio with us today. And Charlie Angel is the bassist, and Rick Fabio is the drummer with Candlelit Chaos.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm great, and you?
I'm good. We have some people tuning in. Let's hope they can hear us okay. Can everybody hear us okay over there?
I'm good, yeah. Yes.
All right. Tell me a little bit about the band. Let's talk about the band. When did you first start the band?
Well, John and we started playing together back around 2012, I think, somewhere in that area, in that time. And then we just continue, on and off, trying to find the right people to do this project. And now I believe that I know we have the best people in the band right now. We're like so stoked about this. It's great.
Awesome. And you're signed with Bongo Records?
Yes, we signed with them back in January, and our single is out right now as we speak.
Your manager is Susanne, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name properly, but she's a sweetheart, and she's on here with us. So hi, Susanne.
Hi.
Tell her hi. Go ahead.
Hello?
Oh, I said tell her hi.
Oh, hi, Susanne.
You recently went through a name change from Ironcore to Candlelit Chaos, or is it Candlelight Chaos? Candlelight, right?
Chaos, yes.
Okay.
This was an idea that I had a while ago, and and John also, we had this vision of putting this band together, but like I said, we really didn't have the right people to do it correctly. So it's been like a long haul. So I'm very happy right now with our drummer and guitar player, and it's going to work out so good now. I'm just so happy right now.
That is awesome. Tell me a little bit about how your music has evolved from the beginning to now.
Let's see.
I know you definitely have more life experience to throw in there.
It's better, better people in the band, so the music is getting a lot better and a lot tighter and everything,
Right. Your recent single that you released, Louder, that is an amazing song.
Thank you.
What was the inspiration for the song?
I wanted to write a song that people could rock out to, they could dance to it, and they could sing it. So that's kind of what I think.
Awesome.
I think they could definitely do that with this song. They could rock out to it, they could sing it, they could dance to it, and it's all it's a great little song.
It definitely is. It gets you out your seat and rocking for sure. Talk to me a little bit about when you go into the studio. Do you generally do some of the recording outside of the mixing and mastering studio, or is that all done at one time?
Basically, we'll write the song and then we'll go in the studio and lay the tracks down, basically.
Awesome. Awesome.
So like Louder was recorded previously, right? Yes. How long ago? That may be 5 years ago. So the song was recorded 5 years ago, and then it had the basis of it there. And then what we did was I went in the studio, and there's actually a video up of it, and I put new drum parts on it. And then Charlie came in the studio and added the lead guitar parts over that. So I think that really finished the song off the way you originally intended for it to be. Yes. And that's what you have now is the finished product. So that's 5 years in the works. So 5 more years before we have our next song. Yeah.
Oh, no. You know you can't keep me hanging that long, guys.
No, it's going to go much faster now because I think they're able to get the vision out and we're able to comprehend it and get it out there. Like we started rattling off the one like immediately. Right? Yeah.
That makes sense. definitely. And would you say, who does the majority of your writing? Would you say that it's one person, or is it everybody pitches in, or how do y'all usually go about
right
that?
now, it's just John and I, but eventually I would like everybody to put their parts in the song. You know, I want this as a band, not just like a single writer or whatever. You know, if I come up with like an idea, I want everybody to put their input in it.
That makes
Which
sense.
we kind of do now. We all write our own parts into it, but you know, they'll come up with the riff, John will come up with the lyrics, they'll start playing it, and then we start adding the drums and the guitar parts over it, and then it starts to evolve. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that song took 5 years before you completed it. Do you have several songs that you get stuck somewhere on, or and they kind of go in a file and then you come back to them later? Or is it generally just like a really
like
smooth...
that we're going to come back to and finish up. But since we got together, how many new ones did we? I don't even know. I don't know. That's totally done. We had at least five songs that we had to redo and everything. But new ones. Yeah, new ones kind of redone, right? Yeah. So a lot of the songs are some ideas from the past. American Fighter is a brand new song. Yeah, we put that together. Just we were rehearsing, and before you know it, we had another song. So the songs will come out a lot faster now. So because all the materials, you know, we're ready to go and play it live. So you know, now when we get together, we run through the old songs and you know start writing a new one. So the material is starting to come out fast. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now,
so this morning I was working on a song called "The Calling." The drum parts for that. So that'll be one of the songs that we'll go back in the studio and do an older song that we'll redo. But in redoing them, I'm redoing all the drum parts to them. They want it done a different way, and so I'm trying to make them happy with the parts that we come up with. So that's kind of like where we're at right now. So we have old songs and we have new songs, and we're kind of making them all into one style, which is going to be the Candlelight Chaos style, as opposed to what was the Iron Core style.
Awesome. How are you going to decide which songs make it onto the album and which songs don't?
We're going to play it for you and see what you think.
Hey, I like that way.
What do you think? Do you think the band should decide, or we should let our friends and family listen to the songs and pick the ones that they like the best?
I think both should weigh in there, because I think that the feedback is definitely vital, because you're getting a fan's perspective, not just as a promoter, but also just as a fan of music. You're getting my perspective plus other people's perspectives, and everybody's going to have their own favorite song. I don't think, I really don't think everybody picks the exact same song as their favorite from an album. I think it just depends on which song resonates with which people. What are your thoughts?
I like to hear everybody's opinion. Yeah.
Now, who were some of your early influences in music?
Basically, 70s hard rock was a big influence on myself. Kiss, Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith. That kind of started it off for me right there.
Okay.
Same here.
Same there, same bands, exact same bands.
Same band from back in the day. I still listen to that stuff today. The only I'd say probably maybe newer music I listen to is Rammstein, and not new, but another band called Kingdom Come. So you might remember they had a song called Get It On back probably in the early 80s. But that's basically it. And Iron Core and Candlelight Chaos, all their music. Yeah.
Right. Now, when did you first decide you wanted to be in music, and when did you first start playing drums or playing bass? When was your first experience at actually handling the instrument and learning to play it?
Okay, I was 10 years old, and my uncle showed me the first Kiss Alive album, and that kind of got me hooked. So I played guitar first when I was 10 years old, up until I was 17. And then I just felt that the bass guitar suited me better. So I switched to bass when I was 17.
Right.
And then that's how I've been the rest of my career, just playing bass.
Playing bass.
You still play guitar at all? And very little.
Very little guitar now.
I'm not that good at guitar.
You're better at bass. Now, what about you as a drummer?
Okay, so I guess probably the Beatles, seeing the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. I remember walking to the record store to buy the record. I remember seeing a bongo drum in the garbage with a broken head. I picked it up and brought it home. I think I was 7 years old, and I taped the head with electrical tape. Found some string, tied the string around the bongo drum and around my neck. Found some old drumsticks, and I used to walk back and forth on South Orange Avenue playing that bongo drum with the huge drumsticks that were like, what you play in a practice pad. And I still have those drumsticks to this day. Wow, that's awesome.
Oh my goodness, you still have them to this day?
True story. And then I graduated to pots and pans and pie tins as the symbols that were on tomato steaks. Anything I could beat up, that was what I liked. And, that's the way my style is. I just try to hit hard.
Hey.
And he does hit hard. I love it.
Right. When it comes to a live show experience, for people that haven't seen you before, kind of what can they expect? What's it like to have to attend your live show?
Definitely a lot of energy. What else, Rick? You never know. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. We're not even sure what's going to happen.
Hey, it happens that way sometimes. No doubt about it.
We don't choreograph anything, so you're not going to see, moves maybe by some of the bands that we idolize, but, it's kind of just what we're feeling. So, of course, if the crowd's more into it, we'll have more energy, in for us, and, that we take it from that. So, if you look around the stage, it never looks the same way twice. If you look at any pictures of the band, everybody's all over the place.
Awesome.
And what I know is playing out as Candlelight Chaos, there will be a lot more going on than it was with Iron Core. A lot better stage show, more stage props, and it'll be really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, we want the stage look to, portray the name of the band also. So, we are working on that right now.
I think that'll be awesome. Definitely.
We want to give the listener a full experience, visual, and listening.
Definitely. I think that's very important to have both the visual and the audio to go together. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that, those are the bands that we grew up watching and listening to. So, we want the same experience for our new bands. We really like to bring back that, big show kind of thing to the, to the stage again.
What is one of the largest audiences you've played in front of?
I was in a band back in 2008, and we did the Bamboozle concert show. That was at Giant Stadium. I played there, and then back in the early 90s, I played LA at the Hollywood Palace. That was a big show.
Awesome. Now, new band name. That means there'll be new merch coming out, right?
Much better logo. We're so happy.
Do we have any idea on about when merch will be released, or are we still up in the air on when we're going to have new merch?
I'm not sure. I think very soon, though. Very soon.
Okay. All right. And whenever it comes to the first time you go into a studio and you hear the music back, generally, what is kind of your reaction as you're hearing it back?
Well, to be honest with you, sometimes it brings like tears to my eyes. I'm so proud,
Right? Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And do you ever get nervous before you go on stage?
Absolutely. I think if you don't get, if you're not nervous, you shouldn't be doing this anymore.
Do you have any specific?
I'm exhausted while on stage, so I don't have time to be nervous.
You practice it so much beforehand that you're like, I'm already tired.
No, I always thought if you just occupy your mind with the thoughts on what you had to do, it didn't give you a chance to get nervous. So I just think about what I have to do and, go through that in my mind. And as I'm processing that, it doesn't give my brain a chance to get nervous. So then I just go up and start executing. So kind of, yeah, it's not like it's stage fright. It's just like jitters, you know?
Now, is there any specific routine that you actually go through each time before you go on stage, or do you just jump up there and do your thing?
I just kind of move around, warm up a little bit, and then go up there and kick some butt. You know what I mean?
Right? Definitely know what you mean. Now, how do you decide on your album art?
The album art?
Yeah.
Well, basically, right now, for the single, it's just the logo. And then the title of the song, you know. We really don't know what we're going to do with the album art yet.
Not sure yet.
But we had an idea on the Iron Core one, but now it's all going to change. So, and how long ago did the name change? So 3 days ago. 3 days, yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been very long since the name changed at all. So I can definitely understand not being sure on that.
Yeah.
Whenever you're writing your music and you're looking at it, what influences that? I mean, are you influenced by the world around you, personal experiences? What influences you as you're looking at it and writing?
Well, most of the words come from John, you know, and which I think is always a good way to treat it, because, you know, he's the one who has to sell it with conviction when he sings the words. I'm totally not into a singer who goes up there and sings words and just doesn't have any feeling to it. So I think the person who writes those words are going to be the one that are going to have the most feeling to it. So right now, you know, Charlie writes like the riff, and then, you know, we kind of add on to it, but, you know, that's how it goes. And then John will write the words. So that's the way the songs have been coming together, and they fit the mold of the music. So I think all of us write, but maybe, I mean, my writing doesn't really fit into maybe the way Candlelight half of the music is. So, you know, maybe someday it will. But right now, I think that what they're doing, I really enjoy playing it that way. So I think that's a good way to do it, right? Yeah. Yeah, like, you know, if I write some lyrics, you know, John will have to, you know, make it to fit his style of singing, you know, because I write it the way I would sing it.
Right.
So he would have to change it up to, you know, to fit his style.
Right. That makes sense. What type of movies are you into? What genre of movies are your favorite movies?
I like comedy adventures, you know, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. All right, so I'll go now. We'll let him think, because lately I was watching, you know, one of the movie channels, either Netflix or Amazon or one of them, and I was watching a movie that just had so many special effects in it. It was just like crazy. I felt like I was watching a cartoon. So I said, I'm going to look at like an old Western. So I watched an old black and white Western movie where it just had hundreds and hundreds of actors in the movie, and they were really there. It wasn't like they were computer graphically generated or anything. And that's all I've been watching, real movies with real people, and not, I mean, they had real horses, not like cartoons that I'm watching. Yeah, it was real. It was real. So that's all I've been watching lately, because I feel like I'm really watching something that's real and not, you know, a cartoon.
Hey, I like some cartoons now.
Yeah, but to me, like when I'm watching a movie, it just feels like I'm always watching a cartoon instead of a movie. Believe me, I'll put Ninja Turtles on any day of the week.
Hey! Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was one of my brother's favorites and my son's favorites, were the Ninja Turtles, and then my son went on into Pokemon. When it comes to art, outside of music, what other arts do you enjoy?
What other art?
Yeah, what other art do you enjoy?
As far as what, hobbies?
Yeah. Any other arts that you do? I mean, do you paint? Do you draw? Graphic arts?
I like to build old cars.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I do a lot of artwork.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot of digital artwork. So you'll see that some of the pictures that we use for the photo of us with the steel mill blended with iron core. That photo is something that, I mean, some of those things take 4, 6, 8 hours to do. So I could sit there and fit with it and get it just the right way I want it.
Awesome.
So that's what I like to do in my downtime, and not playing the drums.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, who would you say is the band that you got to play live with that you were just like, oh my gosh, that was totally awesome? Like somebody that had
back in the day, I
influenced you.
opened up for quite a few national acts. Quiet Riot, Pix, who else? Taiketo. I don't know, I guess it was all cool, you know, to open up for anybody, you know.
If you could play with anybody living or dead and share the stage with them, who would you share the stage with?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me say. I don't know. Offhand. I guess I like to share the stage with maybe like Led Zeppelin, maybe, you know?
Led Zeppelin would rock.
Yeah.
Definitely. And if you could live in any time frame, any era, what era would you choose and why?
I think I grew up in the best era of the 70s. I think the music was the best, the clothes were the best, you know, I think that was the best era I you know, grew up in was the 70s, so, you know, 70s and 80s.
Okay. Now, looking into the future, where do you see the band being 5 years from now? Where would you like to see the band at?
Hopefully we're playing in front of a lot of people.
Doing a lot of touring?
Sure, why not?
Now,
where would you want to see the band in 5 years?
I want to see you rocking a huge stage in front of a bunch of people with, let's say, 50,000 or better followers. That's where I'd like to see the band in 5 years.
Yeah, okay, we'll jump on that train. I like to see it in 5 years. I like to see that in maybe 1 year.
And eventually I'd like to see you play in an arena, you know. Like,
that's been my dream.
Yeah.
That's been my dream.
Yeah, I think that's always a good dream. And I think anything's attainable if you just pursue it.
You know, and I think with Susanne as our manager, I think we will get there. She's great.
She's awesome. She's awesome. Yeah. And she's always on top of things. She definitely is. I notice, like, whenever I need to promote something, she's just, like, really on top of it. She's like, Misty. And I'm like, oh, yeah, shit. I got it. Now, what would you say would be your one thing you would not be able to live without taking on tour, that you would just, it would have to be there? Aside from your instruments, you know.
Hey, I'm finally watching you. We finally got you on Facebook Live. So we can actually see you asking us the question. All right, cool. Check it out. I would probably couldn't go on tour without my flat iron.
Your flat iron?
Too frizzy.
Now, see, with me, it's my flat iron and my toothbrush. I'm like, I could live without many things, but those two things, if I'm traveling, I have to have those.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any future plans that you can let us in on about maybe doing a music video?
We're still working on that, and I'm not sure when that's going to come out.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe we'll shoot one at the whiskey. Yeah,
hey.
We'll definitely have some.
If you do that, do it in the summer so I can be there, because I'll be there in July, dude.
What about March 15th and 16th?
I won't be there in March. You gotta come back in July.
I'll give you some. We're working on doing an East Coast tour with another band called Wicked.
Oh,
so,
awesome.
We're going from like Boston all the way down to Maryland, and in the summer to actually drive out there with them and play a lot of the LA clubs with Candlelight Chaos and Wicked. So hopefully we'll be back there in the summer and be back at the whiskey and a bunch down there in LA.
If you are and I'm there, I am totally there, dude.
All right, well, there we go. We'll make sure you're available to date.
Yay! Oh, that'd be awesome. And I would bring Susanne with me. We'd be rocking the show together. So.
Absolutely.
Now, when you're deciding what to wear on stage, is that a big deal for you, or do you just?
Oh my God.
Or do you just go up there and whatever you're in?
This is an ongoing task. Yeah. Well, not for some of us. Yeah. Some of us we've got a concrete idea, but it's all in the works. No, we really want to portray the image of the band in a certain way. So, we all work with each other and discuss with each other on, get approvals, right? We're constantly trying on outfits and passing it around. Yeah. Make sure that everybody likes, what everyone else is going to wear, because it needs to fit the image of what, this band is about.
Agreed.
So, we want it to be a show. We want it to be a visual. So, that's an important part to this.
Agreed. Who's the heaviest drinker in the band?
Nope, not me. Nobody. I don't think any of us drink.
Hey, good deal. Good deal. Good deal.
All right, so.
Hey, that's a good thing. I'm proud of you for that.
Our guitarist Charlie was a little tired, so he took 5 energy drinks before the last show. So if you want to see a good, you'll wonder why he's just jumping off.
Yeah, he's the biggest drinker. He's the biggest energy drinker.
Well, yeah.
Man, that's a tongue twister. So, when you are getting ready to go on stage, what are some of the thoughts that go through your mind?
Hopefully I don't mess up.
You're right. What is the worst thing you have ever forgotten to take to a show?
A strap.
Ooh, that would make it rough. How did you handle that?
What'd you do?
Yeah, how'd you handle it? What'd you do?
Okay, you borrowed one. Well, the last show we had, I asked what I needed to bring because they said there would be a drum set there. And usually they say like your sticks and your cymbals. Mm-hmm. And I asked 3 times. I usually like to get a list from the back line. It tells us what equipment they actually have. Right. And I just couldn't get it. I asked several times. So I get to the show and I come wheeling in with my cymbals and my sticks. And I see over in the corner a bunch of drum stools from the other drummers. So I say, oh, do we need our drum stools? And they said, yeah. I said, okay, I got to go to my car and get it. My car was a half mile away. Oh. So I walked a half mile to my car and walked back carrying my drum stool. So now it's time for us to go on stage. I go on stage, I put my drum stool down, I set my cymbals up, and I look down and there's no snare drum. So I says, wait a minute, nobody told me I needed a snare drum. I need a snare drum too. Oh yeah, you need a snare drum too. So I keep a backup of everything in my car. So back to the car, half a mile away, pick up my hand and back in. So I put 2 miles on before that show. Yeah. And then immediately, like put the snare drum down, boom, started the song. So that's what happens. You got to be prepared. You got to have some backup. So I carry extra snare drums, extra sticks. But right now there's sticks in my car just in case it's up and I'm going through sticks. I got an extra pair in the car. So you got to be prepared. If you've been in this before, you can't just come to the job with what you need. You need everything besides.
Right. Okay. Funniest tour story.
Funniest what?
Tour story. Funniest thing that's happened.
Funny. Jeopardy question. Hold on. Let's see.
Okay, if you either the funniest or the most endearing story. What was one of the coolest things that somebody did when you were on tour for you guys? As far as helping out the band or just going above and beyond.
Well, a lot of people always help us. They'll come up and help us, move equipment, so that's always nice, but I don't know anything funny, dangerous. I don't know about funny.
I think it's funny that you had to walk back and forth to your car so much, and that's probably because it wasn't me doing the walking, because it would not have been funny if I had to walk that far.
I mean, this was in the middle of Eastern Pennsylvania, so there is no parking. So if you don't believe me, go there on what night was that, a Saturday? Saturday night. Saturday night, go there on a Saturday night and try to park your car.
Oh my gosh.
If I drove my car and brought the stuff up to the door, I probably would have been about 3/4 of a mile away on my next return. Because yeah, a lot of these towns weren't, when they built a lot of these older towns, they didn't take into consideration that every family would have 2 and 3 cars. There's like one car, everybody shared it and dropped people off, and now there's no place to park. Everybody drives. 3 cars every household.
Right. What is one of your favorite things to see when you're going on tour? I mean, some people like building architecture. Some people like the different sites in the towns. What is something that you enjoy?
I love old Victorian homes.
Ooh.
So whenever we go through like a town like that, I just love those homes.
Okay.
It has that candlelight chaos feel.
Right? The Victorian homes and the old
that.
Building architecture always catch my attention, but I also am like huge on mountains and beaches, and just, I think the world around us is really beautiful.
Well, you should come where Charlie lives. It's beautiful scenery driving out here.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
the mountains.
Hopefully one day I'll make it there to you, but hopefully there won't be like bears or something really big I can run over, because well, during the summer I ran over an elk. Luckily the elk was okay, but the car was not.
Elk is big.
But thank heavens for full coverage insurance, okay? Oh, so like I said, hopefully I won't run over anything big if I come to visit you.
Deer is a problem out here too.
What's that?
Deer.
Deer?
Deer, yeah. I've hit like 8 of them in the past 5 years.
Oh my gosh. Now see, like Illinois, I hit a few skunks and some raccoon. Oklahoma, armadillos everywhere. Like there's armadillo dinner on the you know what I'm saying? It's like roadkill. But so when I was traveling, it was kind of interesting to see some of the signs saying, hey, look out for this or look out for that on the road. But when I visited California, they were saying you got to look out for bears because it's common to hit them. And I was like, that would really mess up a car, and then I hit an elk. So what would you say are some of the most difficult things as far as like when you're touring? Sometimes you hit several states and there's several different weather changes. Would you say that what would you say is the hardest thing about that? I mean, is it like the figuring out what clothes to pack just in case of weather, or
it's really wet and humid? My hair goes frizzy.
Yeah, mine too.
I hate when that happens.
Mine too. Now, whenever
kind of the touring is, kind of comes to just weekend. So, you're always back home during the week and you get what you need.
Right.
Back in, years ago, we've been out there for a while, and that was a little bit more where you, had to prepare. But now we're kind of back home every week. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know many bands that are out there 365 anymore.
Right. Well, there's some. There's some.
Yeah, not too many.
Not as many, but there's some. What is one of the things that you're looking forward to in the coming months?
Playing live. Yeah, playing live, and hopefully people show up and see us.
Right? Well, why wouldn't they? You rock, dude.
It's because the outlets aren't there like they used to be. Like you have to kind of find and, where this new music's coming from. I think it's a little tougher now. It used to be, we all listened to 1 or 2 radio stations in our area and they would announce the concerts. Now you kind of have to go to each individual band site to kind of find it. It's not as, easy to find what's going on around. So, hopefully, I know some of the clubs that we're playing, get a, good promotion, and others, they don't do anything. So, nobody knows. You can have the greatest concert in the world, but if the word isn't getting out there, that's the hard part.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, because like there's some really good bands out there that don't play in front of people because they just don't, hear about it. It's terrible.
Right. And you would think it would be easier with modern technology, but I think sometimes hitting those targeted audiences is harder.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. So, again, it's not like if you were listening to, back in the day, WNEW, they'd have, tell you where, what was going on around. So, if you like those bands, you just listen to that station because that was your music. Now it's just kind of, even though it's kind of easier to attach to your audience, it's harder to get that audience.
Right. Agreed.
Right? So once we have our audience, then it's going to be easy to kind of get the word out and tell them, hey, we're playing here, we're playing there. Yeah. But how do you get them? How do they find it? There's no one place that they're listening to that genre of music anymore. So many.
Amen to that. Amen to that. What would you say as a band and working with each other? Because sometimes things go smooth, sometimes they're a little more complicated. What is one of the biggest obstacles in working with each other you've had to overcome?
I'll let you know when things go smooth. I don't know yet. It's personalities, we all have different personalities, but for the most part, we all get along. Wait. For the most part, we do. Yeah, we do.
He says, wait a minute. Now, we get along. When did you not get along, right?
Well, it is a band, so it's a four-way marriage, so yeah.
Right. Whenever it comes to like charities, several bands have, and individuals have charities that are closer to their hearts than others. Is there a specific charity that is close to your heart, and if so, why?
I would definitely be interested in cancer benefits because I have family members who died of cancer. I have cousins who have breast cancer. So any type of cancer benefit, I'm down for. I will do anything for that.
Awesome. And what about you over there?
Me over here?
Yeah, you over there.
Just about anything, I'll play for free, I just don't want to play places for free where, the bar owner or the venue owner is making money and they want us to play for free. But for anything that's going to benefit someone else, I'll pack my drums up and go there and do whatever I can do.
That's awesome. What would you say has been one of your biggest accomplishments?
I guess where we're at right now for me, being signed to a record label, having a single out, worldwide, I think right now I'm at the highest of my career right now, and I'm loving it. I got great people in the band, and I couldn't be happier.
Amen. Awesome answer. Can you top his answer over there?
I can't top that answer. I was actually thinking, and I was saying, to have kind of that peace, like where, you have that outlet to create and to create music with people that you like. It's a difficult thing. So,
definitely.
It's a situation right now.
Definitely. What else do you have coming up with the band that you'd like to talk about? You mentioned tour dates. Do you know any of those specific tour dates yet? Any specific show dates you have coming up?
Well, we got the Whiskey the 15th and 16th of March. And then when we come back here, we have April 2nd at the Blackthorn 51 in Queens, New York, opening up for Jakey Lee's Red Dragon Cartel.
Awesome.
And then I think there's some other shows that are in the works.
Okay.
Big shows.
Awesome. What do you have coming up music-wise? We have a single. Are we looking at an EP? Are we looking at an album?
We're going to have an EP, hopefully out by summertime.
Awesome.
So we'll have maybe 5 or 6 songs on it.
Oh, totally killer.
Yeah.
So it's not just going to be like a 1 to 3 song EP. It's going to be a little bit longer for us.
Yeah.
Awesome.
A couple more to be an album. Yeah. Who knows?
Hey.
Maybe it'll be a full album. Who knows?
Hey. Now, I could rock with a full album. Just saying.
You think we should do full album next or EP next?
I could rock with either one, but, full album just gives me more selections to listen to.
I like the full album idea better because, you know, with just like 3 or 4 songs, it's kind of like not enough, you know?
Right.
You know, that's only like, you know, I get in the car, I want to listen to what I'm listening to for the entire trip. And now, you know, we travel a lot further now than, you know, we would have in these days, right? So you say, oh, I could pop in this and I can listen to the whole album while I'm going someplace. So
I do that
like
a lot.
idea, but we'll see. We have the material
lot.
to do it. We'll see what happens.
I do that a lot. And if you do an EP, I think it should be the prelude to the full album.
Right.
You know, I think if you do an EP, the next one should definitely be a full album.
I also don't like where we have to buy something 2 and 3 times and it's the same thing. So that's where I say we can put it all on the album. It's all on the album. There it is. You buy it once, you got it all. You buy the EP, now I want to buy the album, you got to buy the album, and there's a different version, and there's a, you know, boom, here it is. Here's the best version of that song. It's on here, it's on the album, it's the full length, it's got all the leads, it's not been cut down. Boom, you got it all.
I like that. I do.
And I'd really like to see the packaging be different than what everybody else is doing. I want to come up with some kind of an idea where you physically have this in your hand. You can have a download link, but you physically have to have a CD or an actual LP in your hand, and you'd have that experience that we used to experience when, you know, we're back in the 70s when we opened up that album jacket and we pulled out the sleeves and we had liner notes and we had pictures and graphics, posters, you know, and it would tell the story of that album. Instead now we push a button, the song comes down to our phones and, you know, we pop it in the car. I have no visual experience or attachment to it. Right. So being a visual band, I'd like to continue with, you know, the way a lot of the bands did it in the 70s. I know a few still are today, but, you know, maybe make something a little special this time.
I definitely have some digital music, but I have a tendency to buy the actual CDs just for the cover art or the ones that have the lyrics in them or what have you. And because it's easy, you know, I don't like using my cell phone power in the car because usually I'm GPS on everything.
Yeah. So wait, you don't plug it in?
Yeah, I plug it in, but it pretty much has to stay plugged in the whole time if I'm driving and my phone's using GPS. And then my other phone, I don't want to waste the battery on because I want to be able to receive calls in case of an emergency.
Yeah, my car has like this Apple Play, so I plug it in and my actual phone gets replicated onto the screen in my car. So I can have the maps on in the car on the screen, and I can still receive phone calls, text message. I can verbally, you know, send text messages and do everything right from the car. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, if I do that with mine, I'm not going to have a battery even with it plugged in. Especially on like a 12 to a 14-hour drive, it's like, no.
But the phone's plugged into the power. It's not plugged into the headphones.
Even plugged into the power, using the GPS on my phone uses.
Where I'm going, it actually has more power than when I started.
Now, see, with me using my phone with the GPS, like it will kill my battery on my phone, even when I have it plugged in. Maybe I just need a separate GPS.
So are you looking at the screen on your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, see, my screen is off on my phone. The screen is being replicated on my car screen. The screen on my phone is completely off. It just sits down like in the cup holder. It's off. It's really high tech.
Lucky you.
Yeah, okay. I get you now. Yeah, you're right. All right, so what other technology are we going to talk about?
Lucky you.
I love technology.
I love technology, but sometimes I'm not the wisest on technology. I think sometimes it outsmarts me a little bit, and my 14-year-old knows it better than I do. So he has to explain a lot of stuff.
Well, yeah, of course, they're growing up with it.
Yeah.
But you're on backwards technology now. You familiar with electronic drums?
With electronics what?
Electronic drums.
Not as much. And he plays drums, but he's actually playing the drum kit and the drums at school, which are like the big single drums and the bells and
electronic drum kit. I created an electronic drum kit that I used to play, but now I'm back to just playing the real drums. I don't like playing the electronic drum kit. So like you can say, you know, like, so now it's like, you know, backwards technology, you know, like the technology moved forward with electronic drums, but man, there's nothing like hitting a real drum. So
right. How would you say that some of the original methodologies of making music versus the ones now? What are just some of the things you miss with the older music and the current productions?
Well, I think now a lot of music is, you know, the musicians aren't even in the same room or even in the same building or sometimes even in the same state when they're recording.
Right.
So, you know, we had that decision to make because our guitar player is not actually, our singer's not in the same state. But, you know, we had to decide, were we going to put the track down individually or were we going to do it as a band and go in and lay the tracks down together? And we decided to do that because, you know, we think the energy that we do have and create live and when we're rehearsing would be lost if we, you know, sterilize that and put tracks down individually. So we will be recording the old-fashioned way. We're all in the room together.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. I love that answer. Definitely.
I would like to do like a live performance, and then, you know, we record it as like a live record, but have it like be studio quality.
Right.
Not like a live, you know, like where it's like, you know, have it like really go right into the system, and this way it sounds just like a studio, but we actually did it live with an audience in front of us. So maybe we could do it in the studio and have an audience there too. That would be the ultimate. Yeah.
Maybe do like a live video footage behind the scenes in the studio.
Yeah, we've got one of me playing the drums, but we don't have the whole band because we, you know, like I said, from 5 years ago. But we might do that in the, you know, in the future where we would, you know, have individually filmed the group playing the, you know, the rhythm tracks and then, you know, adding some of the vocals and things like that and make a video of it, actually making the recording. That would be pretty cool.
I think so. What are your thoughts?
I love behind the scenes kind of things that, you know, we didn't see in the 70s. Yeah. We never really saw, like, you know, Led Zeppelin recording or the Beatles recording in the 70s. We're starting to see some pictures of some of that stuff, but certainly not a lot of film footage.
Right, right. I love seeing the film footage of the behind the scenes. I think it's awesome. Right. When it comes to vinyl, what are your thoughts on that? Any plans of vinyl in the future?
I always love vinyl better, so maybe we'll see what happens.
I don't love vinyl better, but I do love vinyl. I still have all my vinyl. I almost sold it a year ago, and a friend of mine talked me out of it, and he says, "Oh, I regret it today." So I still have it all. I did photograph all of it, so I have photographs of all of it. But when it comes to sound quality, I don't know. I hear people say it's better. Go on YouTube and look up the technology of LP compared to digital, and you'll hear the real truth to that answer.
Right.
It's not fake truth. It's, you know, it's real analysis truth. So there you go. I'll leave it at that.
I've definitely noticed
the difference is I love the experience of the record. I didn't like changing it every 20 minutes and flipping it over, and I didn't like if the dust got on it. You know, you'd hear the crackling noises, and I didn't like if I was playing the drums while my turntable was going, that, you know, the needle used to jump, all of the, you know, those kind of things behind it.
Jumping needle, or if you got a scratch on the vinyl and all of a sudden it would repeat that one spot like over and over and over.
Yeah, I have several albums I had to buy again, you know, just because that would happen. So, you know, those are the things I didn't like about it. But I like way better the experience of going to a store, walking through the aisles, trying to find, I didn't want anybody helping me, right? Trying to find the album that I was looking for because I wanted that experience. I wanted to stumble upon other things. And I stumbled on other things I remember, you know, in my life. And then, you know, going in and there was the buttons for the bands, and then there was the posters on the walls, and that whole experience of, you know, going and buying it and going at home and ripping it open and then taking it out and placing it on the turntable. It was a lot more work. But open it up and you see it, and those visions of those albums, they're still etched in my head. Like when I'm playing some of that stuff in the car, I see that album cover.
Right.
It's like that first Kiss, you know, Kiss Live album. I would stare at that cover for hours and hours and hours. You know, it's just that whole experience. You know, just like Rick was, you know, saying.
Okay. Do you still have a record player?
No, I don't have a record player anymore.
I have two of them.
Hey.
And my daughter recently, we had to take a trip into New York City to get an actual LP of the Broadway show Mean Girls, and she wanted her own record player. So we we had to get her a record player, and I said to her, you know, this thing's going to sound horrible. She's like, no, you know, it'll be good, It looks pretty, and so we brought it home, and man, it sounded like horrible. It sounded like you were dragging the album down the street on the back of your car. So that thing went back to the store, and I had to take one of my turntables up to her room and plugged it into like an old boombox that we have, so we can put that behind her couch that she has there. And she goes, it sounds okay, but it looks horrible. So, okay, yeah, so that went out the window too. So you can't really buy a nice looking turntable like for my daughter to put in her room and listen to albums. So although she would love the experience and she used to, you know, come downstairs and play my album, there's no way for these kids to listen to it and really hear it well without buying a futuristic looking turntable, you know?
Right.
So if they get that worked out, maybe some kids would be able to experience this a little better, but yeah, that was short-lived. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Do either of you still have cassette players or 8-track players around?
No, I don't have. No, unfortunately.
I have cassettes and cassettes. You know, I have cassettes and cassette players. Never got into 8-track. Never thought that was even a thing.
They were horrible. They were horrible.
But cassettes, again, go on YouTube. There's people who talk about the life of cassettes. The only problem is you have to, a blank cassette, I think now, to buy one is just around $20, maybe $17, $18.
Right.
A blank cassette. Yeah, because, you know, there's not a lot of companies making them anymore. So it's like, that's insane. But it's a great medium to, you know, if you have a good cassette player and a good, you know, good cassette, a good quality cassette, you can get a pretty good sound off of that, actually.
You know, when they first came out, they sounded great.
I remember when artists.
Technology with cassettes, you know, they started putting different kind of, you know, processes into the actual magnetic tape. So the better you buy, the better the sound quality is reproduced. So, you know.
I remember back in the 80s when the artists would actually use a cassette player to record their ideas if they got an idea in their head while they were traveling. And now it's like the phone.
Yeah, just about everything, right?
Right. So do you have times whenever you're not in the studio that you have this idea just come in your head and you start working on it on your own with your phone or with your laptop and record an idea?
I just wrote 2 more songs with my phone. I had ideas on my phone,
Yes.
I go into my iPad and go into GarageBand, and then I have a digital studio at home that I, you know, go onto that, and I can, you know, dabble on guitar and bass and keyboard, so I can write the whole idea down and do all the parts myself and get the whole idea down.
The most convenient or oddest time that a music idea has hit you?
Say it one more time.
The oddest or most inconvenient time that a musical idea has hit you?
I don't think there's ever an odd time. It's like maybe you're in the middle of maybe watching a movie at the movie theater and you get an idea and there's not a way to break out your phone and start ripping into it. But I just keep humming it in my head until I can get it out and get it down. So what about you?
I've actually forgotten good ideas that, you know, for that reason, for not having anything on me to like record it, you know. So it's just like, oh well.
Right.
Oh well, that one's gone. There'll be another one.
Right.
Yeah, but pretty much now, you know, having access to the equipment, I'd say, you know, maybe 30 years ago that it wasn't so easy. You know, you had to get somewhere to get to it, but now, you know, you do have options.
I would think do you ever wake up from sleep with an idea in your head?
I don't sleep that much, so I don't really get I don't get a great chance to have that happen.
Okay.
I've actually written ideas down in the middle of the night. I've woken up because I was dreaming this idea.
Oh, awesome. See, that's what I was curious about, because I've heard of some musicians doing exactly what you just said. Like they had an idea in their sleep and they woke up and started writing it down.
It's like my dream. I was humming this riff. I actually had to get up and so.
Did you write it or did you like sing it into something?
I don't remember.
If you go on my phone, you'll hear me humming and singing and tapping on the thing. Yeah, it's like insane.
That's awesome. Where all can people find your music if they're looking to find music?
Right now it's on CD Baby. What's it under?
It's under Candlelight Chaos. The song is Louder. And right now, since we did a band name change, it's not quite on all the other platforms, but soon to be.
Okay.
So the easiest way is to follow us on Facebook.
On Facebook, yes.
Candlelight Chaos. If you go on Facebook, that'll, keep you up to date. The videos of us performing live will be there, and, links to the different, sites that have the music available. That's our connection to the world. Yeah.
Right.
It's so easy to do, right? I mean, like, sitting right here in 2 minutes, we can make a post, right?
Right.
Or do a live video with you.
Hey. Yes. I like bringing you on live video, just for the record, if you're playing California when I'm there this summer, or you're playing Illinois when I'm in that area this summer, if you're playing somewhere that I'm in the area and I come to a live show, be prepared. I'm bringing that camera, and you're going to be on video.
That's
and you're
awesome.
going to have pictures taken, so,
We're not shy.
Hey, I hope not, because if you are, you'll be covering your face the whole time.
We'll be handing it up.
Hey, no, that's the way I like it. Everybody fighting over the time on the camera, right?
Right, yeah.
Hey, scoot over, bud. I was in front of that camera. Do y'all ever compete with each other, like on whose photo got taken the most at a show and posted? You ever compare notes on that and be like, well, hey, the bassist was in more pictures than the drummer, dude?
I'm hardly in any. I'm in the dark in the back.
So y'all don't have those kind of competitions between you on who got the most noticed and the most recognized on stage?
No.
Huh?
No, not really. I think it all worked out. I think because everybody's a little interesting in the band in some way or some shape or form, yeah.
Right.
That the camera just doesn't focus on one person.
Yeah, one person.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest thing that you guys do compete over in friendly competition?
Ooh. I don't know. We're not 17 anymore. I could give you that answer, but let me think. Like the pizza?
Pizza! Who gets the most slices, right? Fuck, that is something we're competing over. I'm sorry, but if you got pizza, I want in that competition, okay? I may not be able to eat the most, but I want in the competition for getting the slices, okay?
Oh, it looks like you couldn't even eat a slice.
Oh, baloney! Baloney! Well, hopefully there's not bologna on the pizza, but yeah, I can eat some pizza now.
I'm a pizza eating fool.
I like grub buddies, like those people you call at 2 in the morning and you're like, bitch, come on, we're gonna go eat.
Oh my God.
I hope you're hungry. Prime example, I was eating Oreo cookies with milk at 1 in the morning last night. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm that girl that's like, hey, it's 1 in the morning. Is anybody awake? I mean, let's grab a bite to eat.
Oh my gosh, I wish I could eat Oreos at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I eat like a bird, and I'm a little bit overweight.
I eat anything I want, have a decent workout routine, and I weigh between 94 and 98 pounds at all times, dude.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a workout routine.
And I'm just a hair under 5 foot. I can send it to you.
Post it and we'll share it. How's that?
Hey.
We'll put it on our page. Yeah.
Hey. Maybe have to record. Oh, I would hate to record myself working out all hot and sweaty. But maybe at some point. What would you say your relationship is like as a band? Are y'all more like brothers, more like good friends, more like family? You're like sisters? Oh, so you fight a lot, but you still love each other, right?
We check each other's hair and stuff like that is what I meant. We don't fight.
Pick out each other's outfits. We were talking about that earlier, so.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Like, Are you ever self-conscious about telling your bandmate, dude, you have something in your teeth? Or something on your face? Or are you just like, dude, there it is?
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Yeah, you just real blunt about it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What else do you want to let the fans know before I let you off of here? Is there anything else you have coming up? Anything else?
Please go to our Facebook page and give us a like, so you know, we can see where everybody's coming from, so we know what areas we can go to, and tell your friends if they like this style of music and they love the shows that were put on, you know, back in the day, that, you know, this is something that they might be interested in.
Awesome.
So it's Candlelight Chaos on Facebook. And that's the best place to be in touch with us. We respond. If you ask us a question, we'll reply to you. You know, we want to be interactive with the audience. So, absolutely, you know, we want it to be as one.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm fixing to jump off of the Facebook Live here. So, love you guys. Thank you for everybody tuning in out there. Peace out.
Everyone.
And be sure and check out Candlelight Chaos.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.